Hi everybody, we're going live for a second time. We lost our connectivity, and so we're going with a different bit of technology now, and I appreciate your patience. So again, this is Cath calling Cath from Bees on a Bicycle, and I'm here today to talk about plant choices. We've had quite a few questions about what should I buy to put in our pots, and so I'm going to be talking about that. Before I begin, I'm going to just say a hearty thank you for everybody that has been purchasing on our online store and doing curbside pickups on Wednesdays and Saturdays with the deadline the previous day. It has kept our doors open. It's helped us. We're a small business, as you can imagine. We're being affected by the virus just like everybody else is. It's hit small business particularly hard. So I appreciate definitely for people to listen to this information and then actually also buy stuff at Bees, which helps keep our doors open. Sorry for the folks that watched the first one. I'm going to repeat a little bit just so that it's all in the same video. But to talk briefly, we're going to talk a little bit about using gray tones and blue tones in the garden. I have a helichrysum here. The common name is a curry plant. If you rub it and smell your hands, it smells like curry. It is an amazing plant to put in the back of a large container when you put other smaller things in front. The reason why I use the gray tones and the blue tones is it makes your greens look greener. So for example, this little green guy, you can see how that pops out and looks amazing next to the blue. Other ones that I do with the blue tone is Artemisia. It also, kids love this. When you rub it and smell with the hands, you just need to be careful that you differentiate with kids which ones are aromatic herbs as opposed to culinary herbs, which are the edible ones. This is one of my favorites. This is fescue grass. It's a mounding grass. It's really great in a container, and it has the blue tones like what we talked about. Again, showing off your greens really nicely. If we walk over here, this same grass is what we used here to show off this green juniper and this yellow other plant. Sorry, I've been working a couple 18-hour days and all of the plant names have kind of leaked out of my head. So let's talk about other combinations. If you want to get some height in your container, this is one that I really recommend. It's a Penstemon Blackbeard. Obviously it's got some height. It's got really great reddish tones. I mean, look at that. It's spectacular. And so you could pair that with something that's shorter like that and really come up with a nice combination. This is, I love the name of this guy. Pig Squeak is the common name of this. But if you want texture, in this case, nice and shiny leaves, oh my gosh, this is the one to get. Virginia, I might be pronouncing that wrong, but it's got beautiful shiny leaves. And in the wintertime, it kind of bronzes. It gets a nice reddish brown, reddish, not brown, but reddish bronze burgundy color, which I just love. I've got this in my pots at home. Another one for height that I just love, this is one of my favorites with an intern that I had a couple years back. Brennan loved this plant. It's called Guara. I love it because it's got these gentle little leaves. And so if you pair it, let's say you pair it and contrast it with a plant like that, you've got different textures and you can combine that in a pot and create interest. What you don't want are all your plants with this, like you don't want to plant that with this because you've got little and little in there and you're not getting contrast, which is where interest for our eyes comes about. Here's another one that's really great. I'd wait a couple weeks to plant this outside because clearly banana is a tropical plant, but check it out. It has amazing, amazing coloration. And when the new leaves unfurl, especially for kids, they can kind of watch how the leaves unfurl and they really love that. And so this is a great one also for height. I think this is in the perennials and annuals if you click on perennials and annuals in our website. Frankly, all of these are except these shrubs. This one's a native. I'm going to talk about a few natives. This is a Heuchera americana. What's really great about this, let me get it in the light, is just that just the patterns on the leaves are just exquisite and very, very pretty. And so, for example, if you pair that with something like that, you can really show off the fact that this has pattern and this has shine. And so they're going a little bit different direction. Now let's talk about architecture. Let's say you want something, just a showstopper, one thing in one pot. What I would do is click on, I think it's the succulent section. There's this guy, the Mangav, Mission to Mars. These guys have these amazing red spots in the center, and this guy just gets bigger and bigger and spreads out as a floret. And so I'm going to hold this over a pot so you can get a sense. So for example, let's say I planted this in this pot. You get a really good architectural element. This is kind of a lousy pot for this plant. But let's say you do this one. You get a really good architectural thing that gets just bigger and bigger and more interesting as the summer goes on. This is a zone 10 plant, and we're in zone 7 here in Chattanooga. So I sell these as annuals, but if you're organized about it, bring it in the winter, or overwinter in your garage or your sun porch. You might be able to get 2 years out of it. But generally, you're gonna, for what we're selling these for, you're gonna get a showstopper for months and months and months, because Tennessee summers go a long time. We were getting 95-degree weather into October, so you're definitely gonna get many, many months of enjoyment out of this plant. Another one that I wanna talk about, and I talked about this on my previous video a little bit, is sorrel. Hold on a second. Now, somewhere in here I had some, somewhere in here I also had some rosemary. But basically, I love sorrel. It's a bitter herb, and what we do at home is so here it is in the light. You can see the red veining, and as a container plant, it's exquisite. It looks really amazing. One of the things when it starts to get humid is it gets a little bit of powdery mildew, and just take those ones off. Use your scissors, take them off. But basically, for months and months, it's going to look like this. It's going to get bigger, and it's a perennial. It will die back and come back next year. And so this is a pretty awesome herb that you can use. This guy here, Carex appalachia. The best way to learn about this guy is to go on our site, click on grasses, actually click on natives, maybe grasses, but this is a native that's also a grass. And check out how this guy looks with a full grown. It's a wonderful plant to add a little something kind of underneath other things going on in various pots. And so this is also a native, and oh my God, these guys are awesome. Look at these little yellow flowers. And they're so pretty. This is gosh, I'm gonna probably butcher this name, Chrysogenum virginium, green and gold. But basically they have these lovely little flowers and beautiful leaves and are wonderful in pots. And so you can add one of those to a couple of these and get a whole native display, because this is a native, and this is a native, and this is a native. And when I say natives, I mean plants that have been in this area, native to this area, for hundreds and hundreds of years, if not longer. And they've survived. It's not like the cavemen were out there with their Roundup and making sure these plants survived hundreds of years ago. So getting back into herbs, this one is, this is kind of a fun one. It's just good old catnip. And we have three packs of it. It makes a really nice little flower, and it's a great thing to add to a container. When I was talking about blues earlier on, one of my favorites that's really great for kids also, because they love touching it, is lamb's ear. It's got a great texture to it, and it's really pretty, and it has that blue tone. Now keep in mind, not all your blue tones are as ice blue as this. There's different kinds of blue tones, but you can see that it's blue compared to that, well, this, for example. One more thing I want to mention. Arizona Pink Beauty, Black Eyed Susan, a vine. The nice thing about vines, this one's in the perennials and annual section. I picked this one because it's pink, and pink goes really nicely with some of the other colors that we have in our collection. With vines, you can have them drape over the edge and vine that way, or you could, for example, if you've got little pins on a post like that, you can put a pot underneath and then have this guy vine up a post. Same thing for a fence, or something else that's vertical. You just need your vines to give something to grab onto so that it has a place to go. Last but not least is one of my favorites. It's this guy. Sorry, the name is escaping me and the tag is also escaping me. Giardia. Giardia Sunset Cutie. It comes in a gallon pot. I'm about to... Excuse me. Giardia Sunset Cutie comes in a gallon pot. Once this guy starts blooming, kind of a couple weeks from now in the summer, it blooms and it blooms and it blooms and it blooms. So if you want blooms over a sustained period of time, this is a great one to get. Ooh, one more. Hold that thought. This one, Coreopteris. If you are planting in a bed, Coreopteris is the way to go. Beautiful, kind of light blue, almost lavender bluish flowers, and it's a great plant to fill in beds. And so come with me for a second. We're going to talk about a few more. I was talking about the catnip. This is the bloom on the catnip. You can see it. It's small. So when you Nepeta, N-E-P-E-T-A, this is it in a gallon pot. So we've got it for sale in 2 sizes. So that can be also really wonderful. If you've got a woodland garden, these are the ones to get to fill in a woodland garden. The wood poppy, it's a native and it kind of fills out the space available. It's got this really great yellow flower. There's a picture of it on our website, and I definitely suggest these guys for that. Also, if you're doing a woodland garden, ferns are amazing. We've got a couple different kinds. They can handle the shade. They can handle just like kind of those, dappled sun, and ferns are pretty awesome for that sort of thing. The other thing, if you want flowers but in the shade, I would go with this guy. I think it's an astilbe. I just want to check my work here. Yes, astilbe, full. It says full sun to full shade. So boy, this is a versatile plant, and so you can see the flower on it, and these guys are about to bud, and so we've got a bunch of those. So anyway, those are kind of a few ideas. I can't cover all the plants all the time. Oh, one more. Wait a minute. These guys are incredible. Bleeding Hearts. Amazing, amazing plant. And so they love a bit of shade. They've got beautiful blooms. They're just sweet, gentle plants. Do well in containers and also in beds. And so, last but not least, Bleeding Heart. For all of us who are feeling deeply in our heart right now with all the stuff going on. Take care. Much love from Bees on a Bicycle, and thank you so much for bearing with us with technology and for your patronage of this small business. It means a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.